close. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here, and my thanks to so many of you who have helped us spread the word over the past few weeks about resources available for Nashvillians who've been impacted by the federal government shutdown. Whether that's been a loss of SNAP benefits during the shutdown or the residual effects of DOGE and the mega bill, we're committed here locally to uplifting our residents as best we can. Local government is open for business and ready to help. To fill in the gap of lost benefits, our office worked with our human services organizations in Metro to prioritize food security and also brought partners to the table led by Second Harvest but joined by organizations like The Branch. We, a few weeks ago, launched the Hunger Can't Wait campaign, which raised more than $500,000 in its first week. We also put up a resource page at nashville.gov/food that connects not only people who need help with resources, but also shows how Nashvillians who have generosity of time or resources can give. And like always, Nashvillians have stepped up in a big way to support one another. In the first week alone, Second Harvest had 170 food drives registered and volunteers packing 1,200 boxes every shift. In all, Second Harvest and partners have given away 74,000 pounds of food at community food drives. In Metro, our Metro Social Services doubled the amount of food handed out at their food pop-ups this month. They responded to more than 150 calls from disabled or senior Nashvillians requesting food box deliveries. They also have quick meals available at their office. Many of the people coming to Metro Social Services have come not just from Davidson County, but from surrounding areas. We've seen an uptick in folks coming here for help, even if they don't live in Nashville. At their latest food pop-up, just over 20% of the recipients had come in from out of county. And Metro Social Services, Metro Action Commission, MDHA, and WeGo have all partnered together to help us distribute a first-of-its-kind in Nashville fare-free transit access card called Journey Pass to SNAP recipients and recipients of benefits at those organizations. To date, we've enrolled more than 4,500 transit users in the program, which we just announced last Wednesday. As part of the launch, our Choose How You Move team has worked with WeGo and partners to host 30 sign-up events. Journey passes have already been used for 42,000 fare-free transit trips. Again, this is a first for Nashville that's possible specifically because of our dedicated funding for transit. It was a planned part of Choose How You Move, and that is to directly lower the household cost of transportation for Nashvillians most in need. Enrollment opportunities continue daily for that program. All of those are posted on both nashville.gov/food as well as wegotransit.com. In the last week, even as the government shutdown approached its likely ending, we've seen need in our community continue to increase. The results of the federal government stepping back from obligations will be long-lasting, and so we must redouble our local efforts to help our neighbors. We're consistently updating our resource page at nashville.gov/food, but we want people to know about the resources close to them. So I'm happy to be joined today by Melissa Thomas, who leads The Branch, an organization that offers a food pantry, but so much more also in serving Southeast Nashville in particular. I invited Melissa to join us today to talk about the needs she's seeing in the community and how The Branch is responding. Melissa, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I'm honored to have been invited by the Office of the Mayor to speak on behalf of Southeast Nashville and other regional food pantries who are rising up in this need during this extended and crisis need with food insecurity. Obviously, the recent absence of funding to SNAP recipients, the Branch, and many other food pantries have experienced a 100% increase in people coming to us that are in need. The Branch has been able to provide a box of food per week for those who come to us and show an EBT card. And we'll continue to do this until we know that the benefits, until we are assured that those benefits have been restored to our neighbors' accounts. We're blessed to be able to serve in that way, but we also recognize that this is just a small token of hope in the scope of the large need that our neighbors are experiencing. The Branch has also seen an increase in need among our aging population, up from 16% of those we served last year to 45% this year. And so this is great concern to us. And on one of our service days last week, while we were open for 4 hours, we provided a cart or box of food almost every single minute. We were down a little bit this week to every 1.2 minutes. We are beginning to hear of more concerning food need among our children. And so we were able this week to partner with with One Gin to do a food drop at a local school. And we will continue to partner with One Gin, Cultivate, the Nashville Food Project, and Second Harvest to create ways to step into the gaps that we are identifying with people's need. Please pay attention to your neighbors and what their needs are. Everyone can do something, from the children that brought us a food drive this week to the 83-year-old who made a donation that she felt like was small because it's all she could do, but we felt like it's large. We see our community, compassionate community members, churches, businesses rallying, and it's beautiful, and it's going to take all of us.
Melissa, thank you. Thanks for what you will do. Thanks for being a part of our extensive network of partners in this moment, and specifically for your leadership in Southeast Nashville. But I think this level of dedication to friends and neighbors in the city is so important and inspiring, and having community partners like the branch around the city ensures that people don't have to drive to one single location to get food or other assistance. They have options right in the neighborhood for assistance, and having access to fresh, nutritious food in your neighborhood helps ensure that no one goes hungry just because of their zip code. We're working hard to ensure that even amidst 25% food inflation in the last 5 years, people's dollars can stretch here in Nashville. The numbers are encouraging from the Fresh Bucks program at the farmers market, which matches up to $100 with each dollar spent with an EBT card. We've seen a 48% increase in new users, and so far this year, the Nashville Farmers Market has already distributed more than $2,000 in Fresh Bucks benefits to shoppers. And so, again, the more people know about programs like this, we expect we'll see more usage. Nashville.gov/food continues to be that central resource for Nashvillians, both to get help or to offer help. And I appreciate the work that you all have done in helping us spread awareness of these programs. In the same spirit, I'm happy to announce that free legacy planning services are now available through the Nashville Financial Empowerment Center. This new one-on-one financial counseling program helps Nashvillians take steps to protect assets and secure their family's future at no cost. Research shows that the vast majority of Americans own at least one asset, a bank account, a 401k, or a home that is valuable today and likely to appreciate further, but few have taken the steps necessary to secure those assets. Nearly 70% of Americans do not have a will or a broader legacy or estate plan. The Financial Empowerment Center's trained counselors can help clients with estate and legacy planning, including adding beneficiaries to accounts, creating essential documents like wills and powers of attorney. This program is made possible through collaboration with the national nonprofit Cities for Financial Empowerment Fund. The FEC is a partnership between our office and the United Way of Greater Nashville that connects residents with tools and resources that strengthen financial stability. Since opening in 2013, it's supported more than 11,000 clients, helping them reduce $35 million in debt and building more than $5 million in savings. As I think most of you know, our new Southeast Precinct has been open for a week now. As it opened, crime was already down 22% in Southeast Nashville, but just since opening, the new precinct has already resulted in 235 extra patrols, recovery of 4 stolen vehicles, and apprehension of 8 shoplifting suspects. It's great to see that the fast-growing area of our city is receiving immediate benefits that come from adding a precinct to better serve the area. I'm very pleased that every crime category remains down year-to-date citywide. Finally, this morning, we cut the ribbon on Christmas Village at the fairgrounds, so I hope everybody is ready to get your shopping done this weekend. And with that, I am happy to take questions.
I was at our Murfreesboro Pike where the line wrapped around for the Journey Pass tickets. I know it says that 4,500 people have been enrolled. Is there a cap to this Journey Pass, or will the city evaluate that?
We're not anticipating a cap. I think right now we are trying to make sure that we have staff capacity across our office, which is our Choose How You Move team and others have personally participated in helping enroll people. WeGo, the human services entities I mentioned. But that's also why we did a planned rollout so we could make sure that WeGo as a transit agency had capacity to serve the number of customers that we know we're going to be enrolling. So we don't anticipate capping it. It's a structural part of the Choose How You Move program.
But the people that, I guess, the people that can pay still pay, right? I mean,
Right.
the
So
fares are not going up.
no. So for instance, this summer, you'll remember we introduced contactless payment. So regular riders are still able to come on, tap to pay with a phone or a credit card. We have Lots of new WeGo Ride participants where employers will sign up basically in bulk to offer an employee benefit. New participants in that program include Amazon and the Preds. So we've seen a lot of interest in continuity of people interested in paying fares and supporting that, because we expect fare recovery to be an ongoing part of the transit system. Yeah. Oh, let me come up here and then I'll come back to you.
I have two questions. The first one is about the helping the branch doing, because this time it is cold time and a lot of people lost the job. And she talk about the card for the ABT.
Yep.
What about the other people in need, like they don't receive ABT at this time?
Anyone can come to the branch, and we ask for appointments. That's ideal, but it's hard to get an appointment because we're at capacity. Anyone else can drive up and get an emergency food box at any time.
Thank you. And the second one is
Yeah.
for you.
Sure.
My audience who is immigrant want to know, what do you think about the Nashville Task Force?
So this is interesting because this was not actually anything that was materially new. We have been working on all of drug and sex trafficking, weapons trafficking with state and federal partners for a long time, including the participation of the U.S. Attorney's Office. I think really the announcement that day was focused on successful effort to prosecute dangerous criminals, and so we are going to continue to pursue those folks. But this was in no way, and in fact the U.S. Attorney's Office clarified this was not an immigration-related action.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right,
Mr.
coming
Mayor,
back.
a question about the Boring Company. First, I'm just curious how recently you or your office have had contact with either the company or the state about what exactly they're starting to build there.
We have regular access to the Boring Company, in fact, regular contact with them. Clifton Pay in our office is our Director of Performance Management, and he works alongside Director Chief Swan. We basically set them up to lead a pre-development task force effectively. We get comprehensive updates from where they are in the process. We've had very limited, kind of formal active development scenarios in hand. I think there was, a water discharge scenario that's been applied for. I think there may have been some interaction with NDOT around Broadway access where state and local roads intersect. But we do have ongoing contact with them.
Could you talk a little bit about what influence the city could have on the design and the operation of the system, in particular about safety, ventilation, fire, egress, that sort of thing?
That's why our Office of Emergency Management is involved, is we want to make sure that if this is operating, even if it is on state right-of-way within the city of Nashville, that Nashvillians can be assured that life safety issues have been handled effectively, not just during construction and implementation, but during operation as well. And so we have had already several exchanges between life safety professionals here in the Boring team. I think we will probably do some on-site evaluation of the Las Vegas system as well. Yeah, Nate?
Where do you things stand with TPAC? And is there still time for council to approve any new deal before the end of the year?
We remain very optimistic that we can announce a new deal before the end of the year. I'm not as optimistic that we could get that all relevant materials through the Metro Council, so we will have to engage the Fallon Company in a conversation about a potential extension.
But they're supportive in general?
My sense is yes. I think every stakeholder, including the Fallon Company, including the Titans, including most of the leadership at the state that's been involved, the governor, the speaker, the major stakeholders on the East Bank and our office agree that the location is the correct one. So I think there's a lot of consensus that getting this deal done is important. Yeah.
Wanted to clarify, who is responsible to pay for the damages caused by potholes? Because I guess we did a story on a woman whose car she said was damaged in a pothole, and the state pointed to NDOT, and NDOT pointed to the state.
Yeah, that one should be pretty easily resolved based on whose right-of-way it is. As somebody who's actually had a double blowout on the interstate, there is a state claims process for TDOT, and then similarly, we have a local claims process for Metro, but usually it depends on who owns and operates the right-of-way, so it should be resolvable in that way. If there are any if there's any uncertainty about that, I'm sure the Metro Department of Law could clarify further.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else?
Yeah, Mayor, just real quick, talking about the crime rate being down, I think there was an attack in Germantown this week of a girl that was falling into her apartment complex and was attacked in an elevator. I mean, I don't know can you respond to it or anything?
I mean, this is the hard part. We've seen important progress on crime rates falling, and yet we know that any given day of the week, somebody could wake up that day and be intent on committing a crime. And unfortunately, when that happens, it means there is a victim of crime somewhere in the city. My heart certainly goes out to the woman who was attacked. My hope is that she will make use of the many resources we now have for victims of crime. So we would not point anybody to our data and say this is good enough. We know that any victim of crime in that moment, that's the moment you feel the least safe, and so want to make sure that they know about the Family Intervention Program at the Metro Nashville Police Department, the Office of Family Safety. We have a lot of counseling resources, a lot of victim support resources throughout our criminal legal system and what Metro offers, so I hope people are aware of those programs as well. We're interested in preventing crime, responding to crime, and then supporting victims of crime in all cases.
And Mayor, would you just talk a little bit more about the legacy planning service and just how important that is? That's something that people really.
Yeah, this is a new program. The Financial Empowerment Center has been around for over a decade. You heard we've helped Nashvillians eliminate millions of dollars of bad debt and increase helpful savings. When they're increasing those savings, the next step to that is making sure that those savings can be passed on to the next generation, next of kin. I know from our family standpoint, when we had kids, it was really a helpful moment of focus for us to get our affairs in order to start to create a will, do some estate planning. To be able to do this at no cost is a huge step forward. It joins another extension of the Financial Empowerment Center's programs where just a couple of years ago we launched Reset, which was focused on helping aging Nashvillians access benefits that they may not have been participating in previously. So we're trying to make sure that as we lower costs in some ways through programs like Journey Pass, the many resources we've offered in a time of crisis, that people can also do long-term planning to become more financially stable and ensure that, again, next generation, next of kin are also able to access that financial stability. Yeah.
Just quick, has there been any determination of an income limit for Journey Pass?
Not yet. We're starting with the program on how people already getting benefits are accessing the program. Ideally, we keep it a low barrier system. I think eventually we'll look to expand it so that WeGo can have a self-enrollment scenario, and then we'll look at a bunch of different metrics for how other national programs similarly are responding. So more to come on that. Yeah.
Sorry to ask him, but regarding to the woman who was attacked, Representative Ogle calling again to bring the troops over here, do you think that can be possible?
I think we stay in very close contact with Chief Drake. This is not something where he has requested additional state or federal resources. We have sworn in 250 new officers to the Metro Nashville Police Department. We increased the sworn officer headcount this year. We are focusing on not just resources in a quickly growing part of the city with a new precinct, but also expansion of school resource officers, a transit security division. I would not say looking at one high-profile incident of crime is reason to change posture with federal and state resources here. Thanks.
Anything else?
All right. Appreciate you all. Melissa, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We feel supported.